If you've ever been to Florence, that great radiant city, you've seen the dome, that impossible structure rising over the skyline as a second sun. This masterpiece of engineering was created by Filippo Brunelleschi more than 500 years ago. He built it without scaffolding, using double shell and a herringbone pattern of bricks that no one ever tried before. Even today, engineers still marvel at how he did it. But behind this magnificent masterpiece of engineering lies not only a vision, not only a genius, but also a friendship between two geniuses, between Brunelleschi and Battista Alberti. That friendship, that union of two extraordinary minds changed the way we think about art, a way we understand the human place in life. Let me explain. Before I do, a quick reminder, the purpose of this channel is simple: to convince you to buy more books than you actually own and to expand your reading pile. Because this channel is a community of tsundokus. Tsundoku is a Japanese word for a person who buys more books than they can possibly read. In this episode, I want to persuade you to buy one more. It's called On Painting by Battista Alberti. I'm going to convince you on the strength of its introduction alone, or rather, its dedication, which is barely a half-page long. These few lines are addressed by Alberti to Brunelleschi, one genius dedicating his work to another and asking him for help. So let's pause and imagine it. One great Renaissance mind, Alberti, who was a painter, architect, humanist, dedicating his book to another, Brunelleschi, the man who redefined the skyline of Florence. And the way Alberti begins this dedication is nothing short of remarkable, because he laments that there are not enough geniuses in our world, in his time. Antiquity, he says, was full of them, but in his own time, they seemed to have vanished. And just think, if the geniuses of Renaissance, the contemporaries of Donatello, Michelangelo, and Masaccio, complained that there were no geniuses in their time, what would we say about our 21st century? For us, it must feel like a barren land. When I first read Alberti's dedication, I kept thinking about that same question. He wondered why there were so few geniuses in his time. But what I wonder is something slightly different. I wonder if a Beethoven or a Michelangelo were born today, would they even be noticed by us? Would the sculptor of the caliber of Michelangelo find a patron who would maintain and sustain his genius? Or would they just vanish? Maybe the problem of our century, in contrast to that of Alberti's, isn't that there are no geniuses left, but that our own culture no longer knows how to notice genius when we see it. Alberti writes that it was as if nature herself has grown wary of producing greatness. But he doesn't accept that. In the true tradition of Renaissance humanism, he looks at men like Brunelleschi and realizes that excellence depends not on the stars, but on our own effort. Genius, he says, is diligence, the discipline to perfect what nature begins. Just remember that all of this comes from half a page. He goes on to admit that the ancients had an advantage. They could imitate each other. After all, greatness multiplies in company, but his own time, he says, had no models left. So if we want to be remembered, our fame must be greater still, because we have to invent everything from nothing. He's essentially saying, yes, the ancients were great, they produced magnificent works, but we can achieve even greater things precisely because we must begin from scratch. That's the heart of his argument. True creativity isn't just about being original, it is about discovery, not making noise, but opening new worlds. Alberti dares his readers to discover new sciences, to reveal hidden laws of nature as astronomy revealed the stars. That's the scale of his vision. To create for him was to uncover the hidden inner workings of the universe itself. And even then, Alberti doesn't stop, because he tells Brunelleschi that On Painting has 3 goals. First, to show that beauty is mathematical, that proportion and harmony come from nature's logic. Second, to give artists the tools to uncover that beauty for themselves. He promises to teach them how to see, how to recognize beauty and understand its parts. And third, to guide them towards mastery, to the point where understanding replaces imitation. Don't you think that this is extraordinary? On Painting isn't just a manual on art, it's a handbook for becoming a Renaissance mind. And at the end, Alberti turns to Brunelleschi, the builder of that great dome, and says simply, "If you find mistakes, correct them." Here is one of the greatest intellects of his age asking not for praise, but for precision. That humility, that willingness to be corrected, is the truest mark of genius, because perfection, Alberti reminds us, is built in the same way as Brunelleschi's dome, brick by brick, thought by thought, layer by layer. And perhaps, as Alberti believed, genius isn't something we are born with. It's something we build.